Silva Saarinen at 7, Eagle McMahon 8, Niklas at 9, and Paul Macbeth, the GOAT, at 10.
Yeah, did you read the fine print on this article?
No, tell me.
Eagle was number 3, and then he dropped Wind Dragon and dropped it.
That's not real. Yo, what up? Welcome in to the Players Meeting, a Win Dummies production. I'm your host, Lucas Steele. We're at episode number 36, so welcome in. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the Q Series finale. We're going to discuss the Rookie of the Year on both the men's and the women's side. A scorching hot round by Ezra Robinson. Was Kristin Tattar robbed? Was she screwed? The most liked and disliked pros, plus how we think the DGPT should invest their money. As a reminder, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts. All you got to do is search for the words Win Dummies. Also, subscribe to the Diskin Deals Coverage YouTube page. That's where you can ring that bell for notifications and get notified anytime a podcast drops. Make sure you comment over there and interact with us. We'd love to have you. Without further ado, let's bring in the real star of the show, the one-time world champ, Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. Smitty, what's up, homie?
I'm on break, baby. I'm 2 seasons into Seinfeld. I'm after 1 day and looking to be 4 after tomorrow.
Are you going to watch Seinfeld when he comes into town?
Doubtful. I don't like people that much.
All right. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I will watch this sitcom through again another time.
Yeah. It's a great show. Great show. Super. People either love it or hate it, though. There's a lot of people that don't like it.
Yeah. Satan worshipers.
Oh, my goodness. You get into anything this weekend? How you healing up?
Yeah, I'm just still trying to heal. I feel like I could play, but I don't want to push it. So my only disc golf related was nobody could run the Saturday Millbrook League, so I went and got them started, and then went and washed my truck, and came back and paid them out and came home. That's as much disc golf as I've had. All
right. Well, we hope to see you out at flights. We had 43 out at Camp Hawk. It was pretty awesome to see that many people out there for a league round. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that place is near and dear to my heart for sure. It's fantastic disc golf course. People in Wichita just often think that it's too far to drive. It's really super easy to get to, and it is so much fun to play.
It is, and there was a lot of people that had played for the very first time, and they were shocked by the variety of shots. They just thought it was all wood shots, and no, that course really has an abundance of really, really good shots. So we had a really good time.
They've been approved for a lot of cheddar out there by the Harvey County, and we're talking enough to really do some serious revamping. So their Swede is the driving force behind it, which is good and bad. Good because, it'll have plenty of thought put into it and will be awesome, and bad because it'll have too much thought put into it and it'll take him forever to get started. But yeah, so Camp Hawk's only going to get even better than what it already is. So
that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Not very many people do. Now they will.
Now at least
all 17.
Okay, I went with 3. You went a little higher.
Hey, but wait, let's give ourselves some credit though, dude. We killed it with the Nevada stuff. We have one video that's about to go 5K.
Yeah, we have one that's at 4.9. We have one 4.7. All of them at least hit over 1,000. So really, really awesome. I don't know what we did different. I don't know if it was the time of the year and there wasn't much more stuff to watch. I don't know if it was the names on the coverage. I don't know if we're just getting better, Smitty. I don't know what it is.
Well, that's not the case. The last thing. I think it had a lot to do with the timing and the fact that there's not a lot of disc golf content coming out. I mean, I guess there is, dude. I've tried to watch some disc golf. I haven't made it through anything though. It's there's been some good things, but yeah, I haven't made it. I watched that tournament that Silas Williams, that kid won. I watched the final round of that, and 3 holes in, I realized I'd seen this course before and some other footage. It's a pretty cool course. And what else did I watch? I watched the VPO. I watched a little bit of the Q Series event this weekend. That was on. I had just a little bit of time after getting the guys going at league, so I turned on the women's coverage, and I saw a chick cartwheel putt in from 4 feet, and I turned it off. Said, I can't take this, man. It was so bad.
Count it. That's counting.
It was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff out there. But yeah, it's awesome that we could have over 5,000. I think that's pretty cool. It's by far, the whole series is by far the best of the disc and deals viewed, I think, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think Indian Rock had one of the videos had 3.1 thousand, but that was, I mean, so this one killed it by, nearly 2,000, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's great. That's cool. But now there's nothing to cover.
Yeah, I have to figure some stuff out. I'm going to probably have to pull you out and have you doing something out there and just record you, and people can watch you try to beat the best or something.
There we go. We'll get 7 views.
Let's go.
All right, let's do this show, man.
Let's get into it then. Yeah. Let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? Let's start off with one of these off-season tournaments, the Charleston Classic, and the lefty, Austin Turner, gets the win by 3 over Clay Edwards. I think he's a Castoplast guy. And Braden Sides.
Those are the 3 names that I was aware of. And man, there's a lot of disc golf going on in the Carolinas. Really, they've had multiple tournaments down there over the last few weeks, and a lot of really cool, exciting finishes. Yeah, Austin is really good at disc golf. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. But once again, he's one of those guys that we don't see winning even in the mix really on the Pro Tour.
No.
The only tournament I can remember this year was DDO. He was up there, and then he had that complete brain fart on 18 where he putted out of bounds. But that's it, and those 3 dudes ran off and left everybody else at the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
So once again, just showing you how good those people are. And I also thought we needed to give a little shout out to Mr. Leveska down there at the bottom. He was 28 under, which I'm assuming was the same course as the same time. So,
and he was MP40ing.
Yep.
Do you recall what he beat second by?
Oh,
was
a
it
lot.
A landslide?
Yeah, it wasn't even close. Like maybe more than 28 strokes.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't good. Let me look real quick. Yeah, it was 28 down, and second place was 7 over par.
Oh my word.
So getting slaughtered by 35 strokes over 3 rounds makes you only $270 less than Kale.
Man, that's nuts.
Yeah, he waxed him. That dude is really good at disc golf. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be some coverage coming out. There's Great Courses of South Carolina, I think, is the YouTube channel. I've watched a couple of things on there. I wanted to find that one of Joel frickin' Freeman when he made that big comeback at the end, but they haven't dropped it yet. Frickin' chump.
I'd watch it. I want to watch him throw that Gator 3. That's my favorite disc. It's the only thing I love about Joel at this point. He used to be my favorite player at one point, and I think you've swayed me to hating him.
I don't hate him. I just can't stand him. All right. So what else was going on? We had this Q series thing, which I think the top 4 or 5 got tour cards is how it worked out. I don't know how it worked out on the ladies, but here we go. Leah sent a Jenny with the hot round and comeback win. And the only other name I know is Jennifer Smiley, and that's just because she was in the something we were looking at. Rookie of the Year.
I know Alexis. She played on Missouri's college team. I think it was Missouri. Yeah, so I think she's from Missouri, fairly close to us. So it's cool that she toured all this year, and I don't know if she's sponsored or what, but she was always towards the bottom, unfortunately. Good that she has a tour card now.
Yep. Those top chicks are happy about that. Somebody to give them $150 every weekend.
Yep.
So, and only thing I know about this chick is she was on Lone Star and got booted.
Yeah, and she's a lefty. That's about all I know too. People love her though. Like apparently she's just like a really, really awesome person.
There we go. She's got that going for her apparently. On the men's side. Yeah, and he pulled it off, but Harry Chase here had a killer last round. I think he shot a 14 down to the kids 8, if I remember right. So, and if you're looking for this on PDJ Live, this event was only a C tier
for the finale.
Yeah, which is interesting to me. I mean, there was only 29 people, so I would guess the reason for it being a C tier is because they didn't want to have to add all the added cash, and maybe the small field made it that way. But yeah, Harry shot a 14. Jason Lawson shot a 13. Luke Sampson went 11, and Micah was 9. So he held on.
Yeah, did just enough.
Yeah, he went birdie eagle to get the dub. So, and they all went birdie eagle on the last 2 holes, basically. He played a lot of Disc Golf Pro Tour events this year as well.
How did he finish? Pretty low.
Guy that didn't have he missed cash at both Chess and Waco. He missed cash at Jonesboro. He missed cash at OTB and Portland. He got 24th at Beaver, 36th at the Preserve, missed cash at Des Moines. So usually missing cash at the plus events. But he played some Q Series events and was in the cash and at the top all of them. So
and he looks young. He looks young.
He is young. And this is exactly, I think, what the Q Series needs to promote is these really good players who aren't gonna win on the Pro Tour.
Yeah, I'm surprised Luke Sampson didn't already have a tour card.
Oh, he was terrible this year.
I know he didn't play well, but do you lose your tour card once you have it? How does that work?
I would think you would if you have such a terrible. I don't know how any of this crap works. I don't even know how this thing works, but I guess maybe I'm just not invested in it because I have no desire to play any of those events.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe if I was 20 years younger and thought I could compete at these things, I might be more interested. But yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly if you can lose your tour card. I would assume you could. If you get on there and you get one and then you absolutely stink eggs, why would they want you back?
Well, it's money, but then it's going to also saturate the field with people that aren't competing well.
Yeah, well, and even Luke Sampson, who you just mentioned, what's his player rating? He is pretty damn good.
Yeah, he is. He's really good.
10-13.
Hmm.
We got this. Congratulations to Emily Weatherman. One of our we had her on as a guest early in the year after the DDO, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it was a three lady race. It was Emily here and Ellie Ezra and Katie Osalu, I think is how you say her last name.
Osalu, yeah.
Yeah, it was the three of them, and Emily was the only one with a Disc Golf Pro Tour win. I don't know if that's what was the deciding factor, or if she did have the better year. I know Ellie Ezra won long drive at the All-Star thing, but I don't know that she ever won. I don't think she did, but
no, she didn't. She had 2 top 10 finishes, and I think Katie had 3 top 10 finishes.
Okay,
which was surprising. I think she kind of flew under the radar for me, but then Emily had the win, and yeah, I think that's what propelled her.
Well, Katie may have played a bunch of Euro events, so we didn't really see her as much also, but
yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I was kind of tuned out on a lot of the women's coverage for most of the year this year. So, and we also got the men's Rookie of the Year.
And out of nowhere, we were looking at this, monitoring it all year. We thought it was going to be that one kid from Canada, and here comes Jesse Niemanen.
Yeah, well, I think that was PDGA that we were looking at.
Oh,
these are different things altogether. Yeah, because that Canadian kid wasn't even in their video that the Disc Golf Pro Tour put out. It was, yeah, he didn't make the cut. And I know a guy that picked him as their sleeper at one time.
Yeah, good calls.
Remember he had that hilarious picture?
God, yeah.
It looked like he's a Bears fan. Is that a Bears logo?
It does look like a Bears logo, but no, I don't think it is.
We got Ezra here shooting an 1,100 rated round.
18 under.
Which I saw that and I'm like, whoa, cool. And then I looked and saw all those pars and I'm like, what the heck? So 24 holes, 18 under, still 1,100 rated. And more importantly, we still don't know where this dude's going.
Yeah, we don't.
We haven't learned jack crap about anybody.
And I'm ready. I am ready to learn some stuff.
Dude, I go to Disc Golf Reddit daily. I go to Disc Golf Course Review Forum. They have the inevitable 2025 PDJ Pro sponsorship thing, whatever. And people usually drop names and stuff on there, but I haven't heard. Only one we know is Connor, that he quit. He left Lone Star. Right. That's all we know. So I'm ready to start hearing some where these guys are going. I've heard some rumbles of some names that were upset with their current sponsors, names that might shock people, but that's all just hearsay until it comes from those people. I'm just gonna keep those to myself until one of those guys comes out and says, this is what I'm doing.
Yep. Well, good round. Ezra's a stud, man.
Yeah, he is fantastic, and congratulations on winning a Q Series event, you old badass.
Hey, well, let's let me ask you a question. Does Ezra win his first Pro Tour event next year?
Well, Gannonburg gets the flu.
I think
Ezra could. There's no doubt about it. He's one of the 8 to 10 people that could do it any weekend. And he was hot at the end of this last year, and apparently still on fire. But you got Ezra, you got Isaac, you got Gannon, you got Rick, you got AB, Vinny. I don't think you can throw him out. I still think there's 8 to 10 people on any given weekend, and then you throw in the outliers like Andrew Presnell, who nobody would have picked to win an event. So, little Nick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, disc golf's in a fun place. So, yeah, I think there's no doubt that Ezra could win a disc golf pro tour elite series event or major next year.
Yeah, I hope he does, man. I hope he wins something. He deserves it.
He seems like he does. Seems like a grinder to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, right on. Shall we move on?
Let's do it.
Oh, so boy.
Let's talk about this one, Smitty. So, it was announced everywhere. Kristin Tattar finally making history. The first 1,000 rated female player. And then something happened, Smitty.
I think she was 1,000 before. I think this is her first time to be 1,001. I think this was just the new all-time high.
Oh, so she had been 1,000 before.
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, this was a weird way this shook out. Do you know what happened or not?
No, I knew you were going to share, so I'm going to learn now with everyone else that didn't know.
Well, what happened was this. She won the Throw Pink Championships, right? And there's her ratings for the Throw Pink Championships. 10-14, 989, 1023, 1012. So 3 of the 4 rounds, well over 1,000. Super helpful to her. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the picture below in the bigger graphic, what do you notice about the Throw Pink rounds?
They're XA events.
Yeah, and they're not dark.
Yeah, so they took them out.
They took them out. They took USDGC and Throw Pink rounds. For whatever reason, you get a player rating, you get a round rating, but they don't count towards your overall player rating because they always have some weird rule here or weird rule there. They always try different things. So they figured it with those rounds in, I'm assuming, and then said, oh, crap, we forgot to take the Throw Pink out. And they had to go in and disable those rounds so they wouldn't count against her or for her rating. And she dropped a point.
So then she's 1,000 now.
Yeah. But isn't that stupid that those don't count towards their rating?
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it seems like she kind of got the shaft a little bit screwed over on this one.
Why give rounds a player rating, a round rating, if they're not going to be used?
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you just make it unsanctioned and let them drink?
Oh, dumb. Dumb. So, yeah, that's I think she'll sleep fine over not having 1,001 rating. I'm sure she's disappointed that she doesn't have the new record, but yeah, disappointing not for her, but for the PDGA for doing that to her. I would stupid. Say. Yeah, it's just a bad look.
Looks stupid, dumb.
Oh, I'm excited about this.
Yeah. So for those of you not watching where you can see this, we have the average fandom score for professional disc golfers featured in the 2024 survey. So there was a survey that went out. I think there was over 20,000 votes or something like that. A good sample size. You got a score based off if you were liked or not, or how many votes you got. The top pro at 8.81 is Simon Lizotte. Is that a surprise to you at all, Smitty?
That would have been one of my picks.
Yeah, he's my favorite, so he's right up there. And then followed right by Kristin Tattar, female, 8.58.
That was a little shocking to me that she was number 2 overall.
I think so too. But I mean, she's Kendra's favorite. She's my wife's favorite, and I think she's any female that's into the sport. They usually love Kristin. So and most men, maybe for ulterior reasons. But Calvin Heimberg was third, 8.38. Vinny is one of those just hilarious face, no emotion type of guy, and it's hard not to root for that dude.
He's just a dude, man. He's just a dude.
And another one that was surprising to me was number 4 was Owen Scoggins at 8.34.
I would pick her out to be in my top 5. I think she's fun to watch. She's always seems to be having fun on the course. She's a great sport overall, cheering on everybody. So yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked that she's at the top of this list.
I'm not shocked that she's just maybe that high. Yeah, she's always positive, wonderful for the sport. Number 5, Mr. Swag himself, Matty O at 8.01.
Just another dude, man. That guy is a dude.
He is. And then we'll kind of talk about the next 5 here. I'll name them all, and we can just talk about them as a group. Nate Sexton, Silva Saarinen at 7, Eagle McMahon 8, Niklas at 9, and Paul Macbeth, the GOAT, at 10.
Yeah, did you read the fine print on this article?
No, tell me.
Eagle was number 3, and then he dropped Wind Dragon and dropped it.
That's not real.
No, are there any people on here, or excuse me, that aren't on here that you feel like probably thought they might be on there?
Of course, and I think too, because I think that's your guy, P. Wysocki, he gets the most by the crowd. People are always behind him, so I'm surprised he's not higher on this list. But I wonder if it's because Gannon just kicked his ass so much this year.
Well, where's Gannon at on this list?
Well, he's not going to be in the light.
I think he has a lot of fans. I'm a Gannon Burr fan.
I am now too.
And
number 1, he commented on our YouTube, Gannon, you're my best friend.
And if you watch any Alden's videos, if you're into just dumb videos, those guys are funny, and
they are.
Yeah, I'm super shocked that Rick's not on here. I'm a little surprised that Gannon isn't on here.
I will say, I think Gannon's coming around. I think a lot of people were Gannon haters for a long time. So it's not a shock that he's not on the liked. It won't be shocking to me if he's on the disliked, though.
Well, let's move there.
All right. And our least liked pros. So we're going to start from the top.
Let's do the same thing. Let's start at the bottom. Let's go up the list, though, because the bottom person is the most disliked pro.
Yeah, so let's do the most disliked person. And this person was really disliked. 2.81, and that's Natalie Ryan. The most controversial person in the sport today. This is not shocking. And I am probably, if I voted, I don't know if I would have put her in there, but I don't like that she's competing. I'll say that.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that she's in the running for the top player in the women's field at some of these tournaments. I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. I don't like. There's things about her that I don't like, but everything I see is just, once again, what I see on Disc Golf Pro Tour. When she's playing, I don't see her being a jerk or anything like that. I just think it's the whole thing about the transitioning and all that crap that goes with it, and unfair advantage. No doubt she was going to be the most disliked person. Yeah. There's so many people who just absolutely hate her and everything she stands for.
Yeah, and I'm somewhere where I don't fault her for playing, because She can, and I don't hate her as a person for that. And I think that's where I dislike how people hate her. I hate that she is able to compete, and that's not a her problem. That's a PDGA problem, and that's who I would more so dislike. PDGA, let's make this. And I know they tried to do things, and then they got sued out the wazoo, and they're like, okay, you know what? Just play.
The only way that she's not going to play is if all the other chicks just say, hey, I'm not playing.
Yeah, and they did try to do, like they set out one tournament. They had a little thing where they all spoke. They tried to strike, but it didn't really last.
There's some of this going on in women's college sports now where they're actually forfeiting volleyball tournaments and things like that, where they're just saying, we're not going to play. It's not fair. We're not there. So anyhow, enough about her.
Nico LaCastro, number 2, 3.54. Nico's always a controversial player. I don't know if this was warranted this year. He just wasn't. He didn't have a good year. He wasn't ever in the limelight. He didn't do anything that was crazy off the rails like you would normally expect from Nico. Maybe it's because people know he's dating Cat Merch and they might be jealous and they want to be him. I don't know. But I don't think he deserved it this year, Smitty. What are your thoughts?
I think Nico is maybe the most fiery person I've ever seen on a disc golf course. He gets so fired up and angry and mad and wears his emotions on his sleeve. And and people don't like it. But those are probably the same people that kick their mini and get pissed when they miss a putt at local league. A lot of them. But, some of this is probably still backlash from European Open a couple of years ago. But yeah, he's always going to make the least liked list for some reason. He's himself, and he doesn't give a damn what you think.
It's true. It's true.
So I kind of respect him for that.
I mean, I don't mind it at all. I love someone that's passionate. And I think he, like you said, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. He's all in at all times. He can't turn that off.
He hasn't been able to turn that off forever. And he's one of the greatest players in our sports history. Right? And he's never been able to turn that off.
Yeah,
one time in my life, I'd have told you he was the greatest putter I've ever seen. So, but
now he just takes 5 years.
Unfortunately, because he didn't do that when he was banging them all and winning USDGC.
Yeah. Well, look at number 3 here of the most disliked, Smitty. Is this any surprise to you?
Yeah, surprised he's not lower. Joel frickin' Freeman, baby.
There he is. Now, this is almost a full point higher than Nico. So not as disliked for sure. But, yeah, I will say I think Joel's been trying to work on this. But his attitude, when you watch him play, it's so gross.
Yeah,
I hate it. Yeah, he's a crybaby. I don't mind someone grumpy like you are. But he just complains. He's a complainer, and that's just the worst.
Yeah, it's a bad look for him for sure. So, yeah, most people don't dislike him because he stings them every time they pick him for disc golf games. That's the reason I can't stand the guy, is because he burns me every single time. He's a great disc golfer, and I'm not shocked that he's on this list, but probably some of it might be a little undue. I don't think he's a bad dude. I think he's just a crybaby.
Yeah, that's all it is for me. And here we go, number 4 with 5.08, Drew Gibson. And this may be for a number of reasons. Number 1, he didn't play very well this year. He didn't play really all of last year. And he has some real hot takes that are not always the best takes, and he's not afraid to put it out there.
That's the reason he's on this list, that last thing. So with the exception of Natalie there, these other 3 dudes have been on this list forever, right? Drew is the same as Joel. He's a crybaby. He's a whiner, but he's unlike Joel. He's not afraid to get on there and tell you what he's thinking and why. And like Nico, he's passionate about it. And
yes,
I think in his mind, he's really trying to do things to create change to hopefully make disc golf better. But I think it rubs a lot of people the wrong way.
for sure. And I think for me, it just feels like he's always trying to sell something too. I mean, I know that's his livelihood, but he just seems like a little bit used car salesman a little bit too. But yeah, again, I like his passion. I don't mind someone having a strong opinion one way or another. I just want someone to also be able to see the other side to an argument. And I don't know if he does.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
All right, Chandler Kramer is going to be number 5. What did Chandler do?
I think it's just because he's a weirdo, man. He has green hair. He wears bright colored clothes. He flicks every single shot. But I don't know what he did to make people so mad.
Yeah, and then let's just talk about these next 5. All of them, I'm just like, I don't see these people as like someone I would dislike. And that's Emerson Keith.
I would put him below Drew and Joel on my list.
You don't like Emerson?
Total chump.
Oh. Do you have like personal history with Emerson?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not like we about got in a fight or anything, but he rubbed me the wrong way at Ponca City about 4 years ago. And I just felt like saying, "You little shrimp, I will crush you." But yeah.
All right. You have a personal reason to put him lower. Emerson, I don't know. Seems fine. But since Smitty doesn't like him, I probably will end up not liking him too. Katrina Allen, surprising.
No, not at all.
Why? What's wrong with her? Because she's pregnant and had a baby? What?
No, dude. She is a catty woman. She will start fights on the course, arguments. She just drama.
Okay.
I mean, the few times I've been around her, she's been fine, but I don't dislike her, but I see no reason why, or I understand the reason why she's on this list. She has the world's greatest resting bitch face.
She does have a face that says, "Do not approach me or talk to me ever."
And to quote Kristin, her resting bitch face has its own resting bitch face. That was from a long time ago.
And then here's Brandon Lotta.
These next 2 dudes, I have no idea why they're on this list of hated people. What Brandon Lotta ever do to anybody?
Just his hat?
That's gotta be.
It's his hat.
And Jake.
Jake's
a strange duck, but who cares? You can't dislike the guy because he's unique.
Yeah, he's Jake. I mean, he throws a mile, and I don't understand that. He was super nice when I met him. And then another guy, Adam Hammis.
I'm shocked he's not lower. I mean, this year we didn't have much to go off of, for him being poor sport or whatever, but I think that your past has to go along with you. And there for a while there, this guy was a total jump weasel, it seemed like. So I can understand why he would be on this list. Deserving to be on this list, I don't know. I saw him play disc golf in a dang football helmet. That's pretty funny.
That is.
But I don't know, man. I mean, I think some of this is just traveling with him.
I can see that. So I'm going to ask you this question since you asked me. Is there someone on that you don't see on this list do you think should have been on this list?
I'm shocked Gannon Burr wasn't on this list, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him making it. Eric Oakley.
Yeah. A lot of people dislike Eric, and he's one of those bad sports, or has been this year, it seems like, for sure.
Yeah, those are.
What about someone that is very similar to Drew in the way they have an opinion, but kind of have a cult following?
Brody.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't make both lists.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah, I think he is truly one there's no middle ground with Brody usually. You either like him or you don't. And I'm probably on the latter. I don't love his takes, and I hate his takes even more when he's not playing.
Yeah, you don't watch Tour Life, do you?
No. And he's the reason why I like Yuli, and I know sometimes he can be one that's hard to deal with too.
Yeah, and some of the tangents that Brody gets off on, and he's, like you said, he's a lot like Drew in the fact that he can never see the other side of the story. It's only his way, and he always knows the best. And just him, what really turned me off towards him over the last year was his whole take on Worlds. The way he was like just belittling the PDGA and the officials and how they're there on a vacation. Dude. And his whole pace of play kick. I get it, dude. Nobody wants to wait on people. Nobody wants rounds to take that long. But shut up, man. But this last Tour Life, Yuli wasn't there for whatever reason. So Brody went live on his Twitter during the show. And the way he went live was he talked to people on Twitter with his phone close to the microphone so you could hear him. Dude, it was too much. So, yeah, I'm shocked he's not on there.
Yeah, that was the one that I was thinking. I'm like, ugh, I think that dude needs to be on there. Well, let's switch gears here. I got one more topic I want to talk to you about. Paul Kranz posted this, and I'm going to read this for anyone that can't see this, and then I want to get your take on this. So he said the Pro Tour needs to stop investing in courses that only focus on challenging the touring pros, which means requiring a property that fits 3,000 spectators in a course that's 11,000 feet long. They need to put us in more populated areas, even if it's on an easier course. Side note, easier courses allow for way more competition in the field, which is 10 times more entertaining than one person separating themselves. More income, less spending equals more live cameras and more cameras set up on the course. There is also an idea of a subscription per event towards specific players. If enough money is put towards that player or card, then a camera follows them. They could be on third card or 15th card. It would allow people to watch their favorite players no matter where they are placed in the event. It would also allow us to see more players instead of 5 to 10 select people that are always chosen on feature card. All right. So I want your opinion on Paul's thoughts, and then if you're the DGPT, where do you invest your money, Smitty?
There's a lot of things to unpack there. I'm going to call this back up over here on my screen so I can see it, because
okay.
I think he brings up some really good points, and I think he gets off, in my opinion, off base on a few as well. So I don't know what the DGPT spends on the courses he's talking about. I would think the majority of that money comes from the local clubs, the the event sponsors and that. I don't know what's being invested, but I am with him to the idea that not every course needs to be 11,000 feet. Do I think every course needs to be Oak Park? I think we'd get real tired of seeing that too with how good these guys are. I mean, a good example is Smuggler's Notch, right? Two courses that aren't super long. They're fun as heck to watch. And really only a few people absolutely shredded them this year. Gannon Burr could have nearly went perfect.
Yep.
But he was the only one. And, to that point, he said where more people could compete. He's exactly right. If the courses relied more on shot shaping and putting, there's a lot more people that could compete. So, yeah, he's not wrong there.
I do like the idea of not every course being super long. I do like it when it's stacked at the top and you have to play well.
I think both are needed though.
Agreed.
I think throwing 550 feet line drive golf shots is a skill that some of these guys have that others don't. That you and I don't have.
Not yet. Still working.
I'm beyond that. So, yeah. So to the first thing, I don't know where the money's going. I don't know how much they're investing, but I'm with him that the courses don't all need to be super long. And I'm also with him that we don't need 3,000 spectators there. I mean, yeah, it brings money into the event, I'm assuming, on ticket sales, but I don't care about the spectators. I care about the disc golf tournament, and I want to see the best show that I can see, and I'm going to watch the majority of them on Disc Golf Network.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there we go on that. Let's see there was another one. Oh, this idea of
paying for players.
Paying for players.
Specific.
I would think that the players that would get paid for are the players that are already on the coverage. Right? I don't think that Paul Crayons is going to get paid to be on coverage.
Yeah, I agree. So that was kind of my thought is I'm wondering why Paul's like lobbying for that when, hey, that's not going to be you, brother.
Yeah.
But I do think it would, like, for instance, maybe you see Brody Smith on coverage more often if you did something like that, or like someone who has these followers but maybe isn't always up there, like maybe Drew Gibson.
I don't think those guys have the fan base that
James Conrad. I don't know. I'm just spitting out names.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just don't think that's ever going to happen. What he's saying there, and once again, I'll agree with him that I think I get tired of seeing the same 5 to 10 people on feature cards all the time, and I think it's a super unfair advantage to be on the feature card every single time. If you're never going out when the grass is wet and dealing with that, is that fair to the dudes that are? If you're always playing with the best of the best and you're never playing with a local pro who signed up just to have the opportunity to play around with you, right? So not only are you having to focus on disc golf, but you're also having to keep fanboy from bugging you, walking in your line, dealing with that. So I'm with him there that I've said this for a long time that I think feature cards are unfair. I mean, you're gonna get your feature card round 2 and round 3.
Yeah. What about the way they do it on like the PGA, where they have so many cameras and they're showing all the shots of like everyone that's like playing a hole spectacularly? Do you think we ever get to a place like that in disc golf? And would that be something that you would do if you were, investing in the DGPT?
Well, I think that first of all, their platform that they show their videos on needs updated a little bit. Needs to be more user friendly. Maybe it needs to not crash. They need to have a way to always have signal so that we don't have to miss parts of courses. But yeah, I think that's where I would spend my money is I would try to get more cameras, more coverage, more on course commentary. So it's not just Brian or Nate trying to walk around and Terry and Nate Doss shooting it right back to the people that were watching on coverage. Doss or Brian, where's he at here? Well, let's have Brian on a card that we're not watching all the time when some dude's catching fire. You know, maybe they're saying, Brian, head over to hole 3. Drew Gibson is shredding and we need to see it. So then, you know, he gets over there and we kind of hear what's going on type deal. But yeah, I think if I was going to invest money, it would be more cameras. I mean, dude, think of how the coverage has grown over the last 3 or 4 years. There was times this year where I just sat in my chair like, I can't believe this is what I'm seeing. Big putt, huge shot, awesome roller, doink, just bang, bang, bang all over. Versus what we used to have where we just watched whoever made the lead card, that's what we saw. And if they were sucking eggs and somebody was hot as could be on chase card, we didn't know. So yeah, I think that would be one place I would spend my money.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's, I think, where I would go if I had that decision as well. Cool. Yeah, I think that was an interesting topic and one I wanted to hear your thoughts on. But, dude, that's it. I don't think we got anything else. Should we do our shout-outs of the week?
If you're ready, you can go first.
All right, sure. I just want to thank the 43 people that drove all the way out to Camp Hawk to play flights. It's such a good time. And want to remind everyone that this week, another shout out goes to Jeff Priest because we're going to be at his private course, Tick Ranch, playing it on the short layout. So we're going to get to use those Paulson Gen 2 baskets, and I cannot wait.
Oh, man. You're going to hear some cussing.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
I don't have any disc golf shout outs because I don't even know where my disc golf bag is right now. But I guess I'm giving a shout out. I'll give one to Brandon Mace, one of my best friends from a long time. He came and helped me hang Christmas lights on my house today and kept me from climbing up and down the ladder. And actually, I probably would have been stuck on my roof without him because when I tried to get on the ladder, it went woo sideways. So he had to come and put the ladder back and keep it from falling. But yeah, the lights are up. So, and it only cost me one trip to Texas Roadhouse.
Hey, there you go. How many rolls do you eat?
I held back because I wanted to finish my meal. I only ate 4.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and I just went with the chicken fried steak tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's I'm chicken fried chicken guy, and I'm telling you, you've seen what I look like. Self-control is not something I possess when it comes to food. So the rolls would have been obliterated.
They're pretty dang good, man.
They are. All right, dude. Good show. Can't wait till everyone hears it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you come on back next week. Next Tuesday, we'll have another show for you. As always, take care. Bye-bye now.